Now, if you have been following my videos, then I'm sure that you have seen uh, all the parts of these kind of videos where I discuss the rule of the road cards. But in my humble opinion, the more you practice, the better you get at it, because when you go for your oral examination, um, no matter how well you do, if you mess up in your rules of the road, the surveyor will be hesitant to pass you and give your certification. So I always advise mariners and my students to practice the rule of the cards as much as you can, because it not only helps you to practice the situations but also helps you to practice the lights and the shapes that you learn from the rule of the road book to apply it practically in different situations. So again, in part 27 of this series of videos, I will take up a set of 9 different cards and take you through them and how to recognizing these cards, or how to take or describe the action against each of the cards, and I'll talk about the fog and the day signals as well. So let's get started. Today's first card you see are a lot of lights, and again, in my experience, the more the lights that are there on the card, the easier it used to be for me to identify the card. So in this card here, you see that there is a red, white, red displayed in one vertical line, which should tell you that this is a vessel that is restricted in its ability to maneuver. Now, a white light that is on the top or above the level of all the lights shows that this is a vessel that is less than 50 meters in length, because if this was a vessel more than 50 meters, there would be 2 white lights. All right. You can see the port side of this vessel, because right at the bottom right hand corner you see a red light which tells you that this is a port side light. And the most important bit here is the 2 red lights in a vertical line, which is at a lower level from the red, white, red, which indicates that this is a dredger vessel. But what you see is the obstruction side. The obstruction is on the port side, and that is the side you are seeing. When you see this vessel, you are seeing the port aspect of this vessel. You will sound 1 short blast and alter your course to starboard. This is a vessel that is restricted in ability to maneuver, so it will be your duty to keep clear of this vessel, because this vessel is unable to maneuver as per the requirements. This vessel during the day will show a ball, diamond and ball in a vertical line, and that will be to indicate her status of restricted in her ability to maneuver. She will also show 2 diamonds in a vertical line, that is on the starboard side, that is on the safe side, and 2 balls in a vertical line on the port side, which is the obstruction side. So the 2 diamonds indicate the safe side and the 2 balls indicate the obstruction side, as is shown here with the 2 vertical white, green, red lights. So on the other side you will have the 2 green lights which will show the safe side. And this vessel will sound 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts in fog and restricted visibility. The next vessel again has a red, white, red in a vertical line, and separated a bit vertical away from it is another red light. Now the red, white, red, as I told you, indicates that this is a vessel that is restricted in her ability to maneuver. The additional white light at the top indicates that the length of the vessel is less than 50 meters, because if it was more than 50 meters, you would have 2 white lights horizontally separated from each other. The red light at the bottom tells you that this is a port side light of the vessel, so you are seeing the port aspect of this vessel. This could be a dredger, but because you don't see any obstruction side or safe side, you may only stop at vessel is restricted in her ability to maneuver, because that is the only thing that you can decipher from the lights that are being shown to you. When you see this vessel, you will sound 1 short blast, alter course to starboard, as this vessel may be showing the port side, but the rules of stand on and give way doesn't matter, because this is restricted in ability to maneuver. You will anyway have to take action to keep clear of her. So this vessel will show ball, diamond, ball in a vertical line to indicate its status of restricted in her ability to maneuver. So red, white, red is indicated by ball, diamond, ball in the daytime, and it will sound 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. In the third card here today, you see a lot of lights, and it's light up lights. It's pretty much lit up like a Christmas tree. But these cards used to be my favorite when going for oral examination, because the more lights I saw, the easier it was for me to identify it. So of course here, what you see first have to see is what kind of vessel it is. So how can you determine it? So you can determine it from seeing that there is a green over a white light vertically displayed together. Okay, green over white light just below the crescent moon shape, you see the green over white light. Well, the green over white light tells you that this is a trawler vessel, and because you see two sets of lights, you know that there are two vessels here, so they are engaged in paired trawling. And of course you also see those two crescent shapes, that also indicates that this is the two vessels which are engaged in the trawling operation. Now because you see uh, two white lights in a vertical line just below the green over the white light, that also indicates that this is shooting nets. This vessel is shooting nets. So both vessels are engaged in pair trawling, but they are both shooting nets. A white light on top of the green over white lights and on top of all the lights rather indicate that this vessel is each probably 50 meters or more uh, in length. And then you have the green and the red light displayed or horizontally separated from each other, the green and the red light, which indicates both of them are showing. You can see both the side lights of the vessels. That means you are pretty much approaching the vessel in a head-on direction. You are directly heading for this vessel. So as soon as you see this kind of a vessel, you will sound one short blast and alter course to starboard, and this vessel will show two cones with apexes together in a vertical line to indicate they are engaged in trawling. They are trawlers. They will also show the flag Zulu or the flag Z to indicate that they are shooting nets, and they will also indicate the flag Tango or the letter T, which indicates they are engaged in paired trawling. Each vessel will sound one prolonged blast followed by two short blasts during situations of fog and restricted visibility. Here you see three white lights in a vertical line that should tell you that this is a vessel that is towing. The three white lights in a vertical line indicate that the length of the tow is exceeding 200 meters. There is another white light that is horizontally separated from the three white lights in a vertical line. That tells you that this vessel is probably 50 meters or more in length. Alright, so that is the indication. So if it's 200 meters or more, the length of the tow, there will be three white lights in a vertical line. If the length of the tow is less than 200 meters, there will be two white lights in a vertical line. But the white light that is horizontally separated from those vertical lights indicates that the length of the vessel is more than 50 meters. The two red lights that are horizontally separated tells you that this is of course a towing vessel side light and a tow, and the length and the tow side light. So both are showing their side lights, and it's the port side light. So you are basically seeing the port aspect of the vessel. As soon as you see that, you will sound one short blast, alter your course to starboard, because this is pretty much a stand-on vessel, and you can see the port aspect of it. Each vessel will show one diamond on its towing and the towed vessel to indicate that they are being towed. The towing vessel during fog will sound one prolonged and two short blast, and the towed vessel will sound one prolonged followed by three short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. This card here is showing a red over a white light, which indicates this is a fishing vessel but not a trawler. So a trawler shows green over white and a fishing vessel shows a red over white light. Now remember, don't get it confused with a pilot vessel. In a pilot vessel, it's white over red, but red over white indicates it's a fishing vessel. Now you see a white light that is slightly displaced away from these vertical lights. That indicates that this vessel is using a fishing gear that is extending more than 150 meters. And the bottom white light is indicating that the vessel's stern can be seen. We are approaching the vessel from its stern or from the stern. So this vessel, when you see this vessel, you can sound two short blast, alter course to port. Why to port is because its gear is extending on the starboard side, and the gear is extending more than 150 meters, so you don't want to take any chances here. You would rather go to port and keep your vessel safe, because this is a fishing vessel and you are on a power driven vessel. It is your duty to keep clear of this vessel, so it doesn't matter whether you go to port or starboard, especially if there is sufficient sea room available and you are not confusing any other vessel. Because this is a fishing vessel, this vessel will show two cones with apexes together in a vertical line. But because the gear is extending more than 150 meters, it will also display a cone with apex upwards in the direction of the gear. And finally, this vessel will sound one prolonged followed by two short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. The next card here is showing four white lights in a vertical line, and that means that this is some kind of towing operation going on. So because you know that three white lights in a vertical line means that the towing is going on and the length of the tow is more than 200 meters. Another white light horizontally separated normally indicates the length of the vessel is, or length of the vessel is more than 50 meters. But here you are seeing all the 4 white lights in a vertical line. That's because you are seeing the vessel head on. You are approaching the vessel right end on, head on. So that's why you see all the 4 white lights in a vertical line. So that means the length of the tow is more than 200 meters, and also the length of the vessel is more than 50 meters. And because you see both the side lights as well, together with all the 4 white lights in a vertical line, you know that you are approaching it head on. So when you see this vessel, you will sound 1 short blast, alto course to starboard. This vessel will show 1 diamond to indicate it's engaged in towing operation, and the length of the tow exceeds 200 meters, and it will sound 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. Here you have 3 red lights in a vertical line, which tells you that this is a vessel that is constrained by her draft and she is underway, because you can also see the stern light. So although she is constrained by her draft, she is underway. Of course, vessels can be underway if they are constrained by a draft. I don't know why I said that. So the white light at the bottom tells you that this is the stern light of the vessel. So you're approaching the vessel from its stern. And when you see this vessel, you will sound 1 short blast and alter course to starboard, because you are probably the overtaking vessel if you are coming very close, and it is your duty to keep clear of it. Because this vessel is constrained by a draft, during the day she will display 1 cylinder on its mast to indicate her condition, and she will sound 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts during fog and restricted visibility. Here the vessel is showing a red, white, red in a vertical line that I've told you already. It is a vessel that is restricted in her ability to maneuver. But it is also showing 2 white lights in a vertical line. That might mean that it is a vessel that is engaged in towing operation. Now, because there are not 3 white lights in a vertical line, I know that the length of the tow is less than 200 meters or less. And because there is not another white light which is horizontally separated, I know that the towing vessel length is less than 50 meters. However, I can see a green side light which is right at the bottom of the card. That green light is the green side light, so I can see the starboard aspect of this vessel. When I will see this vessel, I will sound 2 short blasts and alter course to port, pass from its stern. It is my duty to keep clear of this vessel because she will be restricted in her ability to maneuver. This vessel will display ball, diamond, ball in a vertical line to indicate that she is restricted in ability to maneuver, and she will sound 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts in conditions of restricted visibility. Then we have the trawler, that is green over white light indicates that this is a trawler vessel, and the white over red indicates that she is hauling nets. Now when you have 2 white lights in a vertical line just below the green over white, it means it's shooting nets. But if you have white over red right below the green over white, it means it's hauling net. Now don't get confused with white over red and think of it as a pilot vessel. A pilot vessel will not show green over white, it will only show white over red. So here you also have green over white, which should tell you that this is a trawler, and the white over red shows that this is hauling nets. So 2 white lights in a vertical line below green over white is shooting nets, and white over red below green and white shows it's hauling nets. Remember that, alright? Make a note of it if you forget it. Finally, the white light at the bottom shows that this is the stern light of the vessel, so you're approaching the vessel from the stern. When you do that, you sound 1 short blast, alter your course to starboard. Make sure you keep clear of the fishing vessel or the trawler here. And this vessel will show 2 cones with apex test together in a vertical line to indicate she is engaged in trawling operation. But she will also display the flag golf, or the letter G, which stands for that the vessel is hauling nets. During restricted visibility and fog, she will display, or rather sound, 1 prolonged blast followed by 2 short blasts.